Good morning, hoodies, and welcome back to the Hood Table one more again. It's your girl back with an update of a local news story that we had first started to discuss a few days ago. A few days ago, here at Omaha Northwest High School, there was a shooting involving two students. It was an isolated incident per the police department. At Omaha Northwest High School, a student by the name of Ramone Jefferson, 14-year-old, allegedly shot a 15-year-old Jamarion Faint, who is still in the hospital trying to pull through. Now, the students yesterday at Northwest High School, they got to stay home with family and friends and their loved ones after the shooting that happened on Tuesday. And today we find out that the school has reopened its doors, welcoming the students back after the shooting that occurred a few days ago. Now, what we're going to do here is show you a clip from the courthouse where the 14-year-old boy, Ramone Jefferson, has been charged as an adult.
A Douglas County judge sets bond at $275,000 for this 14-year-old accused of shooting another student inside Northwest High School. Thank you for joining us. I'm Waverly Monroe.
I'm Bill Shammer. Prosecutors charged Ramone Jefferson as an adult with multiple felonies, including first-degree assault. Police say the victim, 15-year-old Jamarion Faint, is still hospitalized.
You face the following three charges this afternoon, sir. Under Nebraska law, you are charged first with assault in the first degree. Sir, that is a class 2 felony. That subjects you to the following potential penalties: a maximum of 50 years imprisonment with a minimum of 1 year imprisonment. Count 2, use of a firearm to commit a felony. Sir, that is a 1C felony. If you are convicted of that charge, you face the following: a maximum of 50 years imprisonment with a mandatory minimum of 5 years imprisonment. Count 3, unlawful possession of a firearm on school property. Sir, that is a class 4 felony, and if you are convicted of that charge, you face the following: a maximum of 2 years imprisonment, 12 months of post-release supervision, or a $10,000 fine, or both. There is no minimum for imprisonment and no minimum for post-release supervision if imprisonment is imposed. Those are the charges you face today, sir. Do you understand that explanation? And you understand those are the charges you will face at all times before the courts. Ma'am, are you satisfied with that explanation? Thank you. I have appointed the Douglas County Public Defender to represent you in further proceedings before this court. Mr. Westhoff, what is your position regarding a preliminary hearing?
Your Honor, at this time, we'd ask that you set the preliminary hearing.
Very well. Preliminary hearing in this case will be set.
KETV News Watch 7's Jessica Perez is live at the courthouse with new details in the case.
At Ramone Jefferson's bond hearing, his public defender argued he'd been excessively bullied, and that was important context in this case.
Just for the record, Mr. Jefferson, what is your age?
A ninth grader from Northwest High School now charged as an adult for allegedly shooting a schoolmate. Ramone Jefferson faces multiple charges, including first-degree assault.
I think it's important that the message gets sent that if you do something like this, you're going to get charged as an adult.
Tuesday, a school resource officer called in a shooting after seeing 15-year-old Jamarion Faint with an injury to his chest. Omaha police, Douglas County, and federal agencies all responded, investigating and coordinating with worried parents.
It's very difficult, and it's very emotional, in fact, to think about young people like that being involved, both from the standpoint of committing that crime and then the person that they've hurt.
According to court documents, video shows Faint approaching Jefferson by a classroom and they start fighting. Then Jefferson appears to shoot Faint through his front hoodie pocket before running away. KETV News Watch 7 obtained ring video of what appears to be Jefferson running through people's backyards until he's arrested near 81st and Bauman.
This isn't a random act. This isn't a target act. I believe this is a 14-year-old dealing with some serious schooling issues in him leading up to the alleged acts.
Jefferson's public defender, Benjamin Westhoff, says Jefferson's background needs to be considered. He says Jefferson was excessively bullied.
The dean actually approved a 5-minute pass for Mr. Jefferson to leave classes early, ultimately to leave schools early to try to ensure his safety.
Westhoff says Jefferson's mom was trying to move him to another school. Police are still investigating where the gun came from. Faint is still in the hospital. Omaha police says at this point they don't know whether his injuries are life-threatening. Live in Omaha, Jessica Perez, KTV, News Watch 7.
Wow, you guys. This 14-year-old who felt the need to bring a gun to school for protection, that is just a horrible, horrible feeling that I know that his family is going through right now. Not only his family, though, but also the family of the victim as well. Now, of course, as this investigation continues and we find out new information, we will continue to bring you updates. But for right now, what we know of, allegedly, and I don't want to even use that word allegedly. I think it's okay to say that this boy was repeatedly bullied at school to the point where the school would let him out or release him a few minutes early before the rest of the kids at school to ensure his safety of trying to get home. We also saw his mother there, and she looks just torn. She looks heartbroken, as I would be, as I think any parent would be in this type of situation. His mother even said that she tried to move him to a different school. I don't know when she might have tried it, if it was at the beginning of the school year or just recently. We don't know if the bullying has been going on just this new school year or in the past or just recently. We don't know those specifics yet. But again, as we find out further information, we will bring you updates to this new story. But this is really, really, really sad, you guys, because as we know, there are school shootings a lot. They go on a lot. We are a country of the most school shootings, especially the mass school shootings. Now, this was an isolated incident, once again, between two students. The shooter, 14-year-old Ramone Jefferson, and the victim, 15-year-old Jamarian Font, who again is still in the hospital trying to recover from the shooting. But it's really, really sad because in a lot of these cases, it does happen to deal with bullying. Now, that don't make it right at all for somebody to bring a gun to school and shoot up the school or shoot up anyone in particular. But what can we do about these children who feel like they have to go to these measures, to these lengths to be, to protect themselves? And, the school right now, they are also looking into it as well, because just recently the school had taken extra measures to ensure safety of students when it comes to bringing weapons in school. And what I want to do is bring you to that news story next. But before I do that, I want to put up this warning sign. The following video, photo, image may contain graphic content that may be upsetting to some people. Now, it's not super, super graphic, but it could be upsetting to some people.
A shooting in a school hallway.
I just seen people running.
The gunfire setting off students who ran to safety Tuesday, stayed home Wednesday, and are leery to return Thursday. Hopeful new equipment can prevent another shooting.
Metal scanners, to see like if anybody got like weapons and stuff,
That should have been like something that they should have been had or something like that.
We'll determine if there's anything else additional that we need to do.
The district's chief student and community officer says OPS purchased metal detector wands at the start of the school year for all secondary schools, and that law enforcement trained administrators and security officers as part of a search and seizure policy.
The reason that we chose to purchase these electronic devices is because they are accurate.
When the district is aware of an incident or potential credible threat, a school will implement a safety plan, which may entail the student has the potential to bring a weapon to school and may be searched every day.
At this time, looking at everything that we currently have in place, it matches what is happening around the country with best practices.
The chief officer still pulling together information about whether the shooter was under a safety plan and wanded.
Was this student ever flagged as a threat to other students?
I do believe that we would have to go back and look at that information.
The district now looking ahead after Northwest High School practiced its standard response protocol to a shooting the day before a student opened fire.
That's Alex McClune reporting. OPS had recently updated some of their security concerns there and facilities. Now,
all right, you guys. So once again, the 14-year-old Ramone Jefferson, who shot 15-year-old Jamarian Fant at Northwest High School, was arrested and was charged as an adult. And as we hear there from a representative at the school district, it seems like what they're doing to try to ensure safety of students from people who might bring guns to school is they are not only just using metal detectors like at the doors, they have security, they have police up there as well, but they also have besides the metal detectors at the door, they also have metal detector wands. And I didn't even know that. I didn't, that's not something that we had in high school. We was growing up was the wands. So I'm thinking like, they had asked the representative there, has this student ever had any issues before, with needing to have the wand used on him or bringing, something to school or threats. And what the representative said was that they would have to look into that. So again, as we find out more, as they get more information to us on the news, we will get more information to you as well on the Hood Table. But yes, I am glad that they are going to also look into even more measures. I mean, again, I asked you guys the other day, like, what do you think could be done? I mean, besides what a lot of people have suggested, which was teachers should be armed. I know in some cities or some states that I do believe, like starting last year, they had made an announcement that some teachers or some faculty members or staff would be armed at schools. I don't know if it was the teachers in particular or counselors, or I don't know how you would go about that. And then would that still ensure safety, with students knowing that their teacher might have a gun in their possession or in their classroom? You know what I mean? So you guys, let me know how you feel about that, especially if you've been in that type of situation. If you know someone who's been in that type of situation in a school shooting, or if you were affected, like really affected, like closely affected to that, please feel free to leave your comment in the comment section underneath the video. Now, once again, you guys, just to reiterate, 14-year-old was accused of shooting another student in Omaha Northwest High School, or at Omaha Northwest High School. This was Tuesday, by the way. This was Tuesday. And then Wednesday, the school was shut down. All the students were allowed to stay home. And then the doors reopened today. So all the students are back at school today. But the teen basically said that he was being bullied to the point where, the school was releasing him early, and to the point where his own mother was trying to get him enrolled into another, I don't know if it was another school or another school district. But Ramone Jefferson has been charged as an adult with first-degree assault, use of a gun to commit a felony, and possession of a firearm on school grounds. Douglas County Attorney Don Klein told 6 News that while there's still a lot of details left to sort out in the investigation, the severity of the crime warrants charging the teen as an adult. So Ramone was booked into Douglas County Youth Center on Tuesday night. Bond was set Wednesday at $275,000, which means he needs $27,500 to get out. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for October 16th. And in court on Wednesday afternoon, as we saw, the public defender said that what happened on Tuesday wasn't a random act. He said Ramone had been severely bullied to the point, again, where his mother considered moving him to another school. The public defender said the school was notified of the bullying and had granted Ramone, whom he said had no unlawful missing or absent school reports, a school pass to leave the premises 5 minutes before the school day ended for his safety. According to the documents, the suspect admitted to shooting the 15-year-old victim once. Officers found him wounded in the hallway on the main level of the school, the documents state. He had been shot in the torso. The boy remains hospitalized in stable condition, according to a Wednesday update from Omaha police. The affidavit said the school security camera footage showed 2 boys engaged in a physical fight near a classroom after the victim approached Ramone. Omaha Public Schools confirmed that the incident began as an altercation between the 2 students, noting that it happened on the north side of the school. And again, according to the court documents, the suspect had his right hand inside his hoodie pocket, then shot a concealed firearm from the sweatshirt, hitting the victim, who then fell to the ground. But both boys ran in opposite directions from the scene. The gun was seen on the security footage. According to the documents, the suspect had it in his right hand before putting it back in his pocket and fleeing the scene. Hours later, police would ask for the public's help locating a discarded firearm before an update Tuesday night said they believe they found the weapon used in the shooting. All Wednesday classes and activities at the school were canceled. Administrators will instead focus on the staff during that time, with counselors being made available. And then they said when students return Thursday, which is today, they will be on modified schedules to allow them to have time to meet with counselors and obtain other resources they may need. And as it always does whenever incidents like this happen, security has become a renewal focal point of OPS, which they were just, speaking about a few minutes ago. But students and families in need of immediate support were urged to call Safe to Help Nebraska at 1-833-980-7233 anytime, day or night, to get help. Staff in need of support were urged to utilize Employee Assistance Program or state Safe to Help resources at need. And you guys, that could be very beneficial to some people, because you got to keep in mind the students were affected. Only one was shot. There was one shooter, one was shot, but all the students were affected. That is a very scary, traumatizing thing to happen, for you to go to school and then all of a sudden you hear bullets ringing out and you got to run for safety. So yes, they do have resources for the children at the school, and they do have that phone number that I just gave you, and the website if anybody needs support or assistance. Okay. And then of course, if you hear about any threats, even if you don't know if they could be really true or not, always call 911 to report those threats. If you hear about any sort of type of threats that somebody is planning to do at a school, always call 911. And on that note, you guys, my prayers again to the victim and his family, and my prayers again to the shooter and his family. This is a horrible situation where once again a student felt the need to bring a concealed weapon to school for their protection because they were being bullied. Please leave your comments in the comment section and let me know how you feel about this situation and this story. And also, please make sure you like and share the video on the way out if you did not like and share the video on the way in. Also, feel free to subscribe to the Hood Table if you happen to be new here. And we do have memberships, so you can also hit the join button to become a member. And of course, if you want to donate to the platform or donate to the commentary, all you have to do is go $ the Hood Table 402 on Cash App. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. And I want to say, as always, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. I'm out.